What is vision? This last Shabbat, being the Shabbat previous to Tisha B'Av, received a special name. It was called Shabbat Chazon, the Shabbat of vision. It takes its name from the opening words of the Haftarah, the prophetic readings, in this case from the prophet Isaiah. It said, Chazon Yeshayahu ben Amos, the vision of Isaiah, son of Amos. But what kind of vision is this? It's not a peaceful dream. It's not a hopeful utopia. Isaiah's vision is a lament. It is a vision of a society corroded by injustice, a people alienated from their God, a temple at risk of destruction, not because of foreign armies, because of internal rot. He said, your hands are full of blood. Cease to do evil. Learn to do good. Seek justice. Relieve the oppressed. Uphold the orphan. Defend the widow. This is the message of Isaiah on the eve of Tisha B'Av. Not destruction for its own sake, but destruction as a wake-up call. A prophetic cry for teshuvah, for moral and spiritual return. But the rabbis called this Shabbat Chazon not because of what was lost, but because of what might have been seen. As Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev famously taught, on Shabbat Chazon, every person is shown a vision from afar of the third temple, the Beit HaMikdash of the future, perfect and whole. So we live in this tension between a vision of warning and a vision of promise, between destruction and rebuilding, between what Isaiah saw then and what we might see now. What did Isaiah really see, though? He saw a people who had lost their moral compass. Religion had become hollow performance. He said, I am sick of your sacrifices, says God. Your festivals have become a burden to me. But Isaiah wasn't anti-religion. He was calling for religious authenticity, for a Judaism where ritual and justice walk hand in hand. The new vision then is not just a restored temple, it is a restored people. It is a society grounded in justice, compassion, and integrity. Isaiah is asking us, what kind of Judaism are we building? What kind of world are we creating? And what do we see today? In our own day and age, we live in a very visual society. We are surrounded by images that can blind us. We got screens everywhere, not only on our phones, even on the walking machines at the gym, or even the pumps at the gas station have screens now, with endless news cycles, advertisement, all kinds of algorithmic outrage. We are bombarded by so much information, and yet, often, we see so little. To live with vision in this world is to pay attention. It means refusing to accept cruelty as normal. It means believing in the possibility of change, even when the headlines suggest otherwise. Like Isaiah, we are confronted with broken systems. Inequality in wealth and education, rise in hatred, anti-Semitism, racism, division, loneliness, environmental degradation, and the disintegration of civil discourse. Isaiah's call to defend the orphan and plead for the widow might today mean advocating for the unhoused, for children without access to health care, or for communities torn by violence. Our Jewish tradition does not simply remember destruction. It insists on imagining something better. Zion shall be redeemed through justice, and those who return to her through righteousness. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 27. This is what it's about. Justice, righteousness, compassionate. These are the building blocks of the future. This is the real rebuilding of the temple. On Shabbat Chazon, God grants us a glimpse not of what was, but what could be. like Moses on the mountain, like Ezekiel by the river, like the builders who returned from exile, putting stone on stone with hope in their hearts. It is our task to be visionaries. To be Jewish is to be a navon, a person of vision. It is to look at a broken world and not only grieve, but also imagine and rebuild. It is to refuse the temptation of cynicism, to live with moral clarity even when it costs us, to believe stubbornly in the power of community, of mitzvot, and of hope. Shabbat Chazon is not only about seeing, it is about learning to see differently. As Rabbi Jonathan Sachs wrote, to be a Jew is to be an agent of hope in a world seriously threatened by despair. Isaiah's vision asks us to stop seeing religion as separate from the real world and instead to let our Torah, our prayer, our rituals, our values shape a more just and human world. That is the vision of dignity, of healing, and of shared destiny. As we have celebrated this Shabbat and we have done our Tisha B'Av, we have grieved the losses of our past, but Shabbat Chazon has whispered us, do not stop there. Do not be consumed by despair. Look deeper. There is a vision waiting to be seen, not just a temple, but what the spirit of society can be. Not just of what was, but what still might be. May we all be blessed with vision, with courage to see clearly, and with faith and hope, and the strength to build. And may that vision bring us not only through Tisha B'Av, but into the season of comfort, of healing, and peace.